Yeah, let me. Yeah,
Oh no, what I was going to do is like show your
yeah,
badge.
I'm gonna come up to the poster.
Okay.
This little smile there.
Okay, just show your name on your badge too, so he
Oh
can
yeah.
have it. So we don't have to have you spell it out.
All right. You ready?
All right. Okay, we're good.
Good.
Okay, so you're gonna look at me, and I'm gonna ask you like introduce yourself, the name of your film. You say my name is. I'm sure you got had dozens of interviews like this before.
Yeah.
So, all right. So please introduce yourself, the name of your film, and the premise of your piece.
My name is Cam Cowan. The film is Madagascar, the real Madagascar. It's a film about poverty and politics and the resilient human spirit. We followed three women for 3.5 years, and we tell their story. But it's against a backdrop of extreme poverty. Madagascar is a country we just don't know, particularly in the United States. It's a country we think of, if we think at all, about lemurs and rainforests, because there have been documentaries about them, articles written about them. If we think of Madagascar at all, we think about the animated films, and we've been acculturated by the animated films to think of it in a certain way. But we don't know it, and I didn't know it, and that surprised me when I heard about it from law school students who reported on human rights issues there. So I looked at it and said, why do we not know about this, and why is it so poor? So at the time when I started in 2014, Madagascar was the poorest country on the planet. It's now the fourth poorest country on the planet, but it's the only country that is poorer today than it was in 1960 that has not experienced civil war or violent conflict. So again, we ask why, and that was the basis of the inquiry, sort of the journalistic inquiry. And what I found is the reason for the poverty is politics. It's not just national politics, where, like many African nations, there's corruption through politics. There's sort of personal agenda all the time, and that is true. And since its independence from France in 1960, they've experienced an unconstitutional change of government perhaps almost every decade. But beyond that, it's also the international community and the geopolitical conditions as well. So in 2001, there was unconstitutional change of government. The United States backed the coup president at that time. In 2009, there was another unconstitutional change of government. The United States did not. But in 2009, the United States and the rest of the international community cut off all aid to Madagascar. That immediately wiped out over 60% of the revenue of the country, because they depend on foreign aid for all the social services, education, healthcare, sanitation, access to food. So the international community, in my view, was my premise, did something that was tantamount to a human rights violation, given the circumstances existing in Madagascar. That was the sort of essay political inquiry, but I wanted to follow real people so that we could empathize with the situation there. It is a politically unstable country. There will be another coup, perhaps as early as the beginning of next year, after their next presidential elections. What will be the response of the international community then? And part of what we're trying to accomplish is to bring light to the consequences of universal sanctions applied to an abjectly poor country. 30 million people, half of the population are children, half of those children are grossly malnourished, they're stunted. So to cut off all aid, basically wiping out social services, is something that we shouldn't do. No matter what laws say in different countries, those laws should be changed. So we follow three families led by three women. One of the things I found in my time there is that the Malagasy women are extraordinary, that given their conditions, given their real no hope for their future to get better, and they work hard. One of our characters works all day long, every day of the week, in a rock quarry, breaking rock. It's like sentence. We would think of it as sort of a hard labor sentence, and indeed it is. It's a life sentence for them because that's the only thing they can do. It's the only way they can make money, and she does that with her parents who work in the quarry and with her husband so that her kids can go to school. Another woman in the south of Madagascar washes clothes every day, washes people's clothes so that her children can go to school. And another woman was a sex worker when she was young, 12 years old. She wanted to go to school. They didn't have enough money to go to school, so she became a sex worker to go to school. It was a U.S. aid program that was cut off after 2009 that prevented her from continuing to school, and now she's working out in the country so that her kids, and this is what these women want. They want their kids to go to school. So I wanted to portray their lives, unconnected people, but a very connected story. And that's what we tried to do. So it's a hybrid in a way. We have an overlay of a political and poverty story, but we also have a character study as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.